Welcome to the Biz Grow, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear or favor. The Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, has revealed that the government disbursed 107 million Ghana cedis in allowances to all 9,090 assembly members across the country, exceeding the 100 million Ghana cedis allocation captured in the 2025 budget. Addressing Parliament Assurance Committee, the minister said the payment fulfills President Mohammed's commitment to provide financial support to assembly members. The president promised 100 million in the 2025 budget. By 31st December 2025, the president had paid 107 million to all assembly members in the country. He explained that the beneficiaries comprise 6,272 elected assembly members and 2,813 government-appointed assembly members, bringing the total number of recipients to 9,090. According to the minister, each assembly member receives a monthly allowance of 1,300, which is paid quarterly through the country's 261 metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies. Mr. Ibrahim said his ministry had put in place measures to ensure the prompt disbursement of the funds, noting that the money is transferred directly to the assembly as soon as it is released by the Ministry of Finance. He further disclosed that the first quarter allowance for 2026 was released this week and that he had already directed the financial controller to transfer the funds immediately to the assemblies for onwards payment. The minister also addressed concerns raised by some assembly members over the deduction of taxes from the allowances. He said some beneficiaries had requested that the payment be exempt from tax, but explained that allowances are taxable under Ghana's tax laws. Mr. Ibrahim commended Parliament for approving the allocation and supporting the ministry effort to implement the allowance policy. He said the regular payment of the allowances reflect government commitment to strengthening local governance and providing assembly members with the financial support needed to perform their duties effectively. So this is from the Minister of Local Government and Chieftaincy. He has revealed that about 107 million has been paid to 9,090 assembly members in 2025. Now let's look at the roles of some assembly members, or the roles of the assembly members, the MMDAs. So what they do is to pass laws for district on issues like sanitation, market building, trading. They approve plans and budget. So they approve the district development plan and annual budget before projects start. And they also identify the needs of the community and prepare development plans for roads, schools, and clinics. In collaboration with central government and NGOs, they implement projects to improve living standards. Now, they collect rates, fees, licenses, and seek support from central government, donors, and partners. They also oversee roads, drains, markets, lorry parks, and public toilets. They work with health and environmental officers on sanitation, waste management, and food safety. They issue business operating permits, control hawkers, and enforce building codes. The assembly members are elected from electoral areas to voice concerns of their community. They explain government policies to citizens and take citizens' concerns back to the government. So they support festival, traditional authorities, and the preservation of heritage, including cultural sites. They coordinate education, health, gender, and child protection programs. So, like I said, government has paid 107 million to 9,090 assembly members. I read their rules because some assembly members, it looks as if they don't really know what they are up to. Now, my problem is not about the disbursement of the money, but my concern is, are these MMDAs, are they all doing their work as they are supposed to do? Now, I know that some assembly members are doing their work, but some of them are not doing their work as they are supposed to do. I'm saying this because if you take your time to listen to the public account committees with the MMDAs coming on board to answer to questions, you will realize that most of these assembly members do not really know their role, and some of them are not doing what is expected for them. And the money that is being released to the assembly's common fund to be used for the community development project are not being used for its intended purpose. And so, if you listen to me very well, when I was reading the rules of the MMDAs, it stated that they are one of their role has to do with ensuring that the roads are in good shape, ensuring that the communities have chip compound, ensuring that the communities have basic social amenities like the toilets, the chips compound, potable water. All these are things that the MMDAs are supposed to ensure that these communities have. And they are also supposed to ensure that once in every week, or maybe once in a month, or maybe thrice in a month, there is a communal labor in that particular municipality or the community or the district. And this communal labor has to do with promoting good sanitation out there. The gutters are being cleaned, the roads that is being dirtied with rubbish and all that are being picked, the right thing is being done. But like I said, most of these MMDAs do not do their work. Now, there are instances where money was being disbursed to Assembly's common fund, and those monies were supposed to be given to persons with disabilities. Now, persons with disabilities have a percentage which they receive every month. And then it came to the notice that this some MMDAs divert the money for a different thing. And then I remember that in one particular district, they said the community were having, I think, something like school prize, speech and prize giving day. And so they used the money that was meant for persons with disabilities. They used that money to buy awards, gifts, and all that to encourage the students. Now, what they are doing is not wrong. Gifting out to students to encourage them to do more, it is not wrong. But it is wrong when you use a fund that is not meant for that. The money you use in purchasing those awards is not for those schools. It's not for those students. The money is being meant for a particular group of people, and this group of people are the persons with disabilities. And then you use the money for something different. And then when they were asked why they did that, they said, oh, so they were waiting for the next month where government will release the funds, then they will sort things out. And I was like, look at this. And one thing I ask myself is sometimes, excuse me, but sometimes when people speak, do you listen to yourself speak? Because I feel like sometimes when these people talk, they don't really listen to themselves talk. There is money that is meant for something different. So if you want to gift a student, or you want to gift a school because you feel like they are doing well, you can use your personal salary to do that. That is you sacrificing what you have to encourage the student. Yes, so if maybe one day you see that child at a very high position, you tell yourself, well, my salary contributed to this. But you don't use a fund that is supposed to be used for something different, for something else. No. So for me, disbursing the money is not a problem. But then I feel like the Minister for Local Government can do more. There is a saying that who watches over the watchman. There should be strict monitoring and supervision. Are all the MMDAs doing what they're supposed to do? Are they using the money for its intended purposes? The vulnerable groups within the communities, within the districts, within the municipalities, are they getting what they're supposed to get? Are they getting what is due them? Is their money being slashed? Or at the end of the day, they get what they're supposed to get? If the government is releasing funds and then each vulnerable group within this municipality, district, and this communities are supposed to get maybe 50% of that, do they get it? Or they get 25% instead of 50%? Those are the questions we should be asking ourselves. And we should also ensure that MMDAs that are not performing, they should be booted out. You are there to work. And so you're supposed to do your work as it is being mandated of you. I always say one thing, that you see, the government as we see it does not have 1,000 wings or 1,000 legs to be walking from one district to another, one municipality to another to work. And that is why the government as a body has its branches. And these branches are supposed to ensure that the right thing is being done. Because if the money is being disbursed and it's not being used for its intended purpose, when they come, these people will still give an excuse. Oh, I'm buying in Senis Kano, but the money have been sent. So what did you use it for? And these vulnerable people will tend to point fingers at the government and not the assembly. Because the assembly will complain to them that the government did not disburse the money, but the money was being disbursed. So please, the right thing should be done. MMDAs should do better. Thank you for making time with me on the Miss Girl.